Hey team, we're here for hamstrings and glutes. We've got 4 exercises, including one superset. So superset number 2 movements of the day. You're gonna need a shallow bench for hip thrusts. We're gonna do a little complex there. We've got sumo squats. So you grab your straight bar or dumbbells, one heavy dumbbell, whatever you typically do for sumo squats. I'm using a heavy dumbbell today. We will be getting to straight leg RDLs, which I have a heavy bar for, and kickback. So if you're taking this workout to the gym with you, you can use the cable machine with an ankle strap set at the very lowest setting. Just a straight leg kickback with a pulse. I'll be using a mini loop band and a chair for support. You'll need a mini loop band for the warm up. And then we finish the day with hamstring curls. Again, at the gym, you can use hamstring curl seated or lying machine. I'm going to show you 2 options for in-home. Choose the one that best suits you today. Get my music back. And we're going to take our mini loop band. If you don't have one, that's fine. If you've got even like a resistance band that you can use at the ankles, then that's a good option for a little bit of resistance. We're just gonna get into some squat walks. Okay. Just wearing my wrist straps out of the gate because I don't feel like taking them on and off and wasting time. So I go right above the knee. You can go up to mid-thigh, whatever works for you, but we're working on keeping our feet nice and narrow and really waking up the adductors here. Okay, so those outer glutes, we're just gonna fire those up a little bit right out of the gate. And as y'all know, I like to create an intentional, focused warm-up based off of the muscles that you will engage in the workout, because it's a great way to fire those muscles up. So this is not a quad focused workout. That was Tuesday. This is a hamstring and glute focused workout, but we often confuse with certain angles how we are focusing more on certain muscles. And it's all about the angles. When it comes to legs and glutes, it's all about the angles. Last time, down and back. Ooh, feels really good to wake up the adductors. All right, we're gonna get into some scoops, heel down, toe up. Sit the hips back in a hinge motion. Bring it up to the top. I love, love, love this stretch right here. Great way to stretch the hamstrings. We're going to get into the hip flexors a little bit. My hips are still insanely tight. Okay, so we're going to come to the top of our mat. Ooh, reach it up nice and tall. Wake up the spine. All right, let's inchworm it out into a high plank right here. Big step. Drop that back knee. Reach it up into a T-spine stretch. Drop that elbow down and in. Ooh. My gosh. I love this stretch because like both hips are getting stretched right now. The opposite hip, we're working to open that. We're opening the inside hip. Last reach. Step it back into a down dog and pedal if that feels good for you. So good. Hips come forward. All right, big step other side. Drop that left knee. I also took a 5-minute warm-up bike ride. So if you need, you know, that 5-minute, like just a traditional warm-up. Walk, jog, bike ride, jumping jacks, rowing machine. All right, always a good idea if you have that time to spare. I don't have that time to spare, but I wake up a little bit earlier and make sure that it can fit. All right, last 30 seconds to stretch out. Anything else you might want to stretch out. All right, so if you're getting into the hip flexors, maybe you do some circles. Boom, boom, circles are so good. You can do some high kicks. You can do a forward fold, hang into a ragdoll stretch. Ooh. Ooh. All right, so I'm gonna hang here for like 20 more seconds. Get into that hip, hopefully a little bit better. All right, so we've got Sumo squat pulses, and then our complex. Okay, so what our complex looks like, we've done this before, but it's 10 full hip thrusts, full rep, followed by 10 half rep, or pulses, whichever you prefer. So you can come halfway down in your half rep, halfway up in your half rep, or a pulse, whatever you feel is most challenging for you. And then we have a 10-second hold. Ooh, 4 times. 4 times, okay. So, pull this back in. Quick sip of water before we start. Okay, so we've got 8 to 10 reps for these pulse guys. So to wake up and really like focus on the glutes for this move, in a nice wide stance, point those toes out slightly, and I want like just the smallest hinge forward, nothing crazy, and we're not falling forward into the rep at all. It's still a squat. All right, but I want that slight angle so that we are loading the hamstrings and glutes, not the quads, okay? So if we're more straight up, we're working more quads. Today, focusing on the hams and the glutes. Good. So do you feel the difference in that mind to muscle connection? Hopefully you do. Let's climb right into our bench. Dumbbell, straight bar, resistance, doesn't really matter. Take this first set as an opportunity to really see and identify how you want to progress. 10 full reps. Make sure you've got that 90-degree angle. Last full rep. Good, 10 half rep. Last half rep, 10-second hold. Three, two, one. You know I'm not going to achieve that 10-second hold. I'm not going to achieve it. So take my lead if you don't feel like setting a timer. And I will, as always, be your pace partner. Here's the most important part of the workout right here. The rest that you're taking or not taking in between your sets. 30 to 90 seconds, even up to 2 minutes, all right, depending on how heavy you go, depending on your level, but we need that little bit of recovery. So stop shortchanging it, stop rushing it, stop doing other shit in between, grab your water, rest, so you can come back to this exercise with the same form, technique, mind to muscle connection, everything. Ugh. Cool. My mind to muscle connection round one was insane. You know why? Because I took my time. Slowed that tempo down, got to the deepest point of the squat, then added the pulse. So good. Same thing, right into it if you can. Full reps. Here we go. Last full rep, half rep 10. Last half rep, hold for 10. Three, two, one. Awesome. Now, figure out next couple rounds how you'd like to progress. If you'd like to progress, I'm going to add some resistance with my weight for these guys. With control, of course. So if you don't think that you can go heavier with the same form, technique, don't compromise that, okay? So if you're gonna, I don't know, fall forward in that squat, if you're gonna let the legs get more separation, change up your angle here to accommodate more weight, don't do it. Find your max while using good form. Quality over quantity. All right. Set number 3, arguably the hardest set of a workout. Here we go, down and dirty. Again, if you're maxed out at 8, go ahead and fail at 8. Good. We want to keep those knees slightly bent, even at the top, tippy top of that rep. Here we go, right into our hip thrust. If you can, turn your body in towards your weight, and then put your weight on top of the hips. Turn so that you're not trying to muscle a heavy weight off the floor, okay? Ooh. Here we go. 10 full reps. Get your angle right. Get your form right. Last full rep. Last half rep. Hold. 3, 2, and 1. Ooh, I immediately felt that extra resistance right out of the gate. Immediately. Whew. Oh, here we go. Recover. Last set, best set is coming. And then we move on to our straight leg RDLs. All right, team, here we go. My dumbbell's never in my starting spot where I need it to be. Last set. Yes, it's okay to feel gassed. We get our compounds done, out the way, at the tippy top of that workout, right? It's okay, breathe through that shaking. Here we go, breathe through the shaking. Last complex. Make it count. Last full rep. Last pulse. Hold. 3, 2, and 1. Oh, twerk some cheeks in that set. Woo. Butt cheeks are shaking. Yep, that's the point, that's the goal. All right, gang. We have a lower rep range for our straight leg RDLs. 6 to 8, which means if you've been afraid to go heavy, don't be afraid, because to try and fail is actually winning. It's better than not trying at all. So I'm gonna kick things off with a weight that I'm comfortable with, but my goal is to progress to that heavy straight bar with 45s on either side. So what I'm gonna do is start with my heaviest dumbbells, just 30s. Take the opportunity in this first set to focus on form, core engagement, all right? Make sure that bar, you're comfortable if you're using a barbell, skimming past the knees. Find the deepest point of your hinge. And if your weight is too light, it's like not really challenging, I want you to add a pulse, and I want you to continue past 8, but don't go past 12. This workout is like the workout of pulses. Ugh. Good. Pulses and iso holds, these are really necessary for progressions if you just don't have like access to a variety of weights at home, or if you don't necessarily want to go heavier every single time you progress. You're still maybe working on form and technique. I wouldn't really graduate to a barbell with straight leg RDLs until you're extremely confident in your form. Like extremely confident. Wrist drops will help too. I used to think these were just like only necessary if you needed them. Now I like them because you don't have to worry about like your grip or your wrist failing you. You just like focus on the exercise. So 6 to 8. Remember, find your deepest point and then begin to come up. So you got the glutes engaged, tuck that chin to chest if needed. Awesome shit. We've got one more set. Just give my wrist a breather. Last set, best set, and then we move to our banded kickbacks. Finish the day with some hamstring curls. Here we go. narrow feet. Try not to get toes pointed out or pigeon-toed, just straight. Neutral. All right, team. Awesome job. Gonna give our grip and our wrist a little breather. Get right to our kickbacks. 8 to 10 per side. We're adding a pulse. We're coming straight back. Again, at the gym, you will need to access the cable bar with an ankle strap at its lowest setting. Same exact position, same upper body position, slight hinge. You're gonna grab your bar. You're gonna extend to that deepest point where you feel that pull in the glute. Come back all the way in, boom. When you find that deepest point of the kickback, that's where you start your pulse. Good, switch it up. Same deal, other side. We're gonna flow right back through. Since this is unilateral, one side automatically gets a rest. Good, switch it up. It's normal to have better balance on one side versus the other. Nice and under control. Almost on our second set. The real challenge is keeping the upper body nice and still without arching or grounding the back. This will allow you to really isolate the glutes. Good, last set, best set. Last rep. Whew, at least for me, because I did sets of 8 and not 10. Ooh, oh my gosh. That last exercise of the day, feeling, and it's hamstring curls. Oh my gosh. Hamstring curls are arguably the most deceptively challenging movement ever. If you're not into this, lie on your belly with a dumbbell in between your heels, and then bring that dumbbell straight to your glute. Lower down with control. If you do have a Swiss ball at home, even a med ball will work great. Here's where you're gonna start. Here's where you're gonna finish, and oh my God. Again, if you're at the gym, seated or lying hamstring curl is a good alternative, but I would argue this is way better for my postpartum mamas. Find a Swiss ball at the gym. Do your hamstring curls with control, because you're gonna activate your pelvic floor. And honestly, training your deep core is going to get you a six-pack before millions of crunches will, okay? Like, that's just a straight fact of life. So do moves like this, okay? Moves like this. Donkey kicks, hydrants, kickbacks, hamstring curls, boom. I think I lost count. 8 to 10 is the rep range. Need a quick sip of water before I jump back into that. But for real, I don't care if your child is 8 months or 8 years or 15 years. If you fail to work your deep core, if you fail to strengthen your pelvic floor after labor and delivery, it's never, ever too late. I don't care if you've had many C-sections, it's really never too late to do shit like this, to get in deep with your pelvic floor. Step number 2. Take your time and breathe through the shaking. We got this. Oh my gosh, good, relax. It just never, ever, ever ceases to amaze me. Like, I can deadlift whatever this is, 135. I don't know. I've deadlifted, I think, I guess heavier than that. I don't know how heavy I've deadlifted, but like this move right here is this one gets me every time. And yes, we're at the very end of the workout, the muscles are fatigued and everything else, and that's why we save accessory work for last, but still. Focus on control, 3-3 tempo. Breathe through it. Oh, I'm right there with you. Come on, last rep. Get that shit out of the way. Awesome job. Way to slay. Hydrate, eat, stretch, move, walk. Move outside of this workout. Slay the rest of your day. I'll see you next time.